The team that loses game one has an advantage in game two. When you look at our first series, we won game one with Tampa, and I thought Tampa played its best game in game two. It took overtime, and they were really good in that game. And the opposite happened in the Boston series. We got clubbed 5-1 in game one and came back and played probably our best game of that series. So they have that emotional advantage. The mentality for us is then you don't take that deep breath. It's one game, right? And it was 1-0 with 3 minutes left to go. So this is going to be tight, very probably long series, and it's going to be a grinder. It's going to be fast at times. It'll be heavy on the walls at times, but they have the emotional advantage coming into tonight. We've got to find a different way to get ours.
Front row on the right, Alan.
Coach, you guys were here on March 4th. You won 4-2, and Bobrovsky played one of his stellar games. I asked you what his play has meant to the team, and you said he's been freakishly consistent this season.
Yeah.
How has that permeated the team, the roster, just what he's done?
Just think about what great goaltending does for the mood of everything. First of all, you're winning more games, so everybody's in a better mood. But your defenseman goes back, taps him in the pads, says, "Thanks, Sergei, that was an awesome save," right? Instead of him skating to the bench and hearing what kind of moron he is because he missed his check, right? It just changes everything, the mood. And then, even if you're wobbling in a game, there's the feeling that you still have a chance, right? You always have a chance. Sergei's consistency this year was impressive, and I think some of it, Anthony Stolarz had a big part of it. I had nothing to do with it. Robbie Tallis and the two goalies basically scheduled the games, kind of a month in advance, and never came off schedule the whole year. And that will tell you that Sergei was playing at a high level, and we didn't fight that idea of, we got to get him on a rhythm, or he needs some rest. There wasn't any questions of rhythm or rest. It was kind of, okay, you play these next three, and then Stoley's going in. And yeah, you make the playoffs, and whatever, we have 100 and some points. You're thinking, wow, you guys were going to make the playoffs. Well, you don't feel like that in January when you're like 5 points up and you're only a bad weekend away from being out. So Anthony Stolarz goes in, and he plays incredibly well on the back-to-back nights, on the nights that were beat up. His save percentage was unbelievable, and that let Sergei stay in that kind of consistent vein.
Back left, Luke.
Watching from afar, what did you make of the impact Matt Rempe's made on the league this season and in this city in particular?
Oh, without shocking you fellas, I may not have paid as much of attention to that as you guys did. We played him twice, I think, with Matt in the lineup. He's a big physical guy. Gets hit on the forecheck.
Front right, Mark.
I was going to follow that, Paul. You had mentioned after the game the other night that you had an idea what Pete might be doing to counter what took place on Wednesday night. I'm curious if Rempe was one of those things that you thought about.
Oh, no. I think that their team and our team were very, I won't comment on what they'll do. The arrogance it would take for me to have any insight into another NHL team, it would be beyond me. I have a hard time every morning figuring out what my team's doing, right? That's all my focus. For me, I thought both teams have really skilled players that they didn't execute a lot of pucks. So I'm looking at my team going, the same game is happening out here. It's 1-0. It's an even game. And from the bench, there's some transition through the neutral zone and transition out breakouts where you're just about to get excited and then the pass gets missed. And it's not a lack of effort. I thought both teams maybe a little bit tight with the puck. So the adjustments, I don't even know if the adjustments, it'll just be a focus. Hey, we're really good at these things. Let's be really good at what we're good at.
If I could just follow, Nico's hit on Hedl with like 3 seconds left in the game. What's the purpose of that, do you think? And do you expect some sort of response from them, in terms of the way they come out physically tonight?
It's clean, right? There was nothing, it was clean. He had the puck. That's going to happen. Could dump the puck and then that wouldn't have happened. I don't know why you would carry a puck there. But if we have the puck, we're going to get hit. If they have the puck, they're going to get hit. It's conference finals. Game's over when it's over.
Second row, Mike.
Paul, Anton Lundell just continues to play really well for you. What are your similarities that you see in his game with Barkov? Because some have dubbed him Baby Barkov.
Yeah. Both of them, I want to say this so it makes sense to you. Both of them will look at the exact same play. And Barkov doesn't have a choice in the decision he makes. It's going to be what's the best thing for the team, the defense first. Lundy sees it the exact same way, but Lundy's also got an offensive side where one eyebrow would go up and go, maybe I could get on the other side of that one. And what's funny about that, like, I think Anton, I mean, he has, we don't know how good he is yet. We really don't. I know that from the draft and talking to Bill Zito, they believed at the time, and they still believe there is an incredible offensive upside there. And God, in the first 50 games, he had some incredible chances, and he just couldn't get it to go. So I feel kind of like I did about Reinhart 2 years ago, going, it's there, it just doesn't go. And so he scores a bunch here, and I'll say now, wow, he was a great scorer. I'm wondering about that about Lundell. You see enough offense that doesn't go, that when it kicks for him, the confidence goes, the maturity, and it starts to go, well, it was always there, we always knew it. I don't know that we're there yet. He is got the perfect understudy, right? He is the perfect understudy for Barkov. The countrymen, Barkov works hard every single day. For a young player coming in, we're just so fortunate at the three positions. Barkov, Forsling, and Bobrovsky. All three of those men are hyper-conditioned, hyper-focused, team-first guys. So we're very lucky. Our young players get to pretty fine mentors.
We'll take 3 more questions. Back left, JF.
Plus minus might not be the perfect stats, but when Gustav Forsling is able to finish the year at plus 56, he's plus 9 in playoff, how good you need to be to have those type of numbers.
Agreed. And the plus minus for forwards is a dangerous one, especially wingers. They may have nothing to do with that. They may be playing with a sloppy center iceman, right? And they get dinged up. Gustav plays against the other team's best every single night. And if his minutes are down against the other team's best, it's because the other team's coach is working him away from him. And he is that good. I mean, I don't think, I think there's a domain. I never played. So in some ways, it's even hard for me to assess how good he is, because some of those plays I take for granted now. His transition from backwards to sideways to forwards to stick on puck is incredible. I think if you ask a guy who played, I hear it in the line. I'm standing against the wall with the other defenseman, and he'll do something on that turn and go over and kill the play, and I can hear the guys laughing. Nobody can do that. So he's just, I could talk about him. You know what I like about Gustav Forsling? He's all of the things that everybody in this room would hope professional athletes are. It doesn't come easy to him. He respects the chance he got because he had to work so damn hard for it, and he did everything he could to get it. There was I don't know whose quote this is, it sure as hell's not mine, that character is the ardent pursuit of excellence without the guarantee of reward. That would be Gustav in the hinterland that he was in when he couldn't get a regular job. He did it. He worked that hard to get that chance.
Take 2 more questions. Back right.
Paul, I've heard that Reinhart, before he arrived in Florida, had barely ever killed a penalty at any point in his career. What was it about him that made him a penalty killer, and was that something that he brought to the table?
Oh, God, I hope I can claim that one. I'm just trying to think back. I don't think that's mine. I think I got here and somebody said Reinhardt's a real good penalty killer, so okay, we'll put him with Barkov. But we used Barkov and Lundell all of last year, and we shaved minutes off him. So I've said Ron Francis, I think, is the smartest person I've ever talked to about hockey, about in terms of being on a bench and being able to tell you what happens on the ice. And then it's Sam Reinhart, and he's not far off. So for a guy, and in some ways similar, right? Incredible sticks, not the fastest guys. They sit on the bench and they process everything that happens. They're not watching the jumbotron. They're not floating about the chance. They're just wired. So he has decided he wants to be good at killing penalties, and he is. He and Barkov, and he can do it with other people, but because of Barkov's range on the ice, his ability to get into holes, they also become dangerous.
Last question, second row.
With one more on Anton. As a young player in the league who comes in and kind of joins a team that has this much success early on in his career, how much do you think that part of it it kind of aids in his development too, in addition to the mentors that he has in the locker room?
Well, I think where the organization is in its curve, but that can be a double-edged sword, because the more mature your group is, the less ice time there is for you. And there are young players in the league that go to teams that get, top 6 opportunities early, power play time early, and because of that, they will make quite a bit more money over the course of the year. So there's a cost, an actual financial cost to coming into the 3-hole instead of the 2-hole. But what's he got? What's his number? He's about 50 games, you said? 40 games? Okay. So he's 22 years old, I think, and he's got 43 playoff games, and that's going to make him a lot of money down the road, because he's going to be a valuable veteran guy no matter where he plays, right? We think it's going to be here. And he's restricted this year, right? So he's only got half a bad attitude. If he was unrestricted, serious problems with him. Serious problems in the locker room.